Ecuadorians reject oil drilling in the Amazon in historic decision.
Here's a summary of the article.
Rio de Janeiro. Ecuadorians voted against drilling for oil in a protected area of the Amazon. An important decision that will require the state oil company to end its operations in a region that's home to 2 uncontacted tribes and is a hotspot of biodiversity. In 1989, it was designated a World Biosphere Reserve by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, also known as UNESCO. Encompassing a surface area of over 1 million hectare, it boasts 610 species of birds, 139 species of amphibians, and 121 species of reptiles. With over 90% of the ballots counted by early Monday, around 6 in 10 Ecuadorians rejected the oil exploration in Block 43, situated within Yasuni. The outcome represents a significant blow to Ecuadorian President Guillermo Lasso, who advocated for oil drilling, asserting that its revenues are crucial to the country's economy. State oil company Petroecuador will be required to dismantle its operations in the coming months. A previous version of this story was corrected to reflect the referendum was on oil exploration in Block 43, not 44. Associated Press climate and environmental coverage receives support from several private foundations.
This post received a score of 33,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I went deep into the Ecuadorian Amazon last year for some wildlife photography. On the way down we had a 3-hour boat ride that passed many a drilling operation. It's heartbreaking to know there's some of the best biodiversity next to operations that could impact the ecosystem with leaks at any time. I'm really happy for the Ecuadorian people. Here's a giant river otter. For scrolling this far down edit. Here's some more pics of the area if you're interested. A road was approved to go to the drill rigs, 1 lane wide, with the trees connecting overhead so animals could travel. That rule was simply ignored, and a wide 2-lane road with a pipeline along one side was built. While we were traveling, we watched troops of monkeys trapped on one side of the road calling to monkey in the trees on the other side. Locals in need of food would just walk the road and shoot the monkeys gathered at the edges for bushmeat.
And I'm sure they weren't even fined. They should have been forced to pay to tear it down and have a separate entity approximate the money made, and then that should have been the fine.
Wow, imagine a democracy that actually gets real people's input on a major issue.
Democracy has gotten real people's input many times before. But when big oil companies, fruit companies, rich investors don't agree with your particular view of democracy, they simply overturn it.
I say politics is the entertainment branch of industry, and government is what we need. If you are making political statements, remember, you are not addressing the real needs of government. You are just talking about the Madison Avenue aspect. Just a friendly reminder, in case somebody does decide to speak up.
I miss Frank.
In democratic vote. You know, just in case certain people mysteriously think they suddenly need to be brought freedom, trademark.
When have we ever let a little thing like democracy stand in the way of profits?
Good job, Ecuador. Also, do I recall correctly in saying the miners will be provided alternative jobs? Will be a cold day in North Air before Poland closes the coal mines meanwhile. :
We Europeans need to acknowledge we fucked up big time with boycotting nuclear energy, and we are now paying the price of being dependent on fossil fuels in countries that we definitely shouldn't be supporting.
What do you mean? It's completely normal for democratic nations to check notes. Pay Russia $1 billion daily for the first few years of an active and brutal invasion. Happy crying face. The Ukrainian war simply exaggerated conditions of an already awful status quo, making things too awful to justify even among neoliberals. But it's astounding how willingly we wasted so much wealth for almost a century, not because it was the only way to get electricity, but more because it was slightly easier to make a few go-doffel oligarchs super wealthy. To hell or high water.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.